Hi everyone. In this tutorial series, we're gonna discuss about the URLs and views, right? So basically, the first thing we need to consider first is the views, right? The views come first, then we connect those views to our URLs, right? So actually we are going backwards and then the request is going forward, right? So this is how it goes. So we're gonna start doing our views. So how do we create our views? We go to our app, which is manager. We go to views and then we go into import from Django.http .http import HTTP response. So what is HTTP response? So the function of this I'll call it function, right? So HTTP response function is going to take we're gonna create a view, right? It's gonna show our view into the browser. You understand? Since we don't have our templates, actually we're supposed to use render, but since we don't have our templates yet, we are going to use HTTP response. So we're going to say dev, let's call our first view home. So our view is going to take in a request from the user, and then from the user we're going to return what? HTTP response, right? So we can say this is the home page, right? You can write whatever, so we create another view. We're gonna say it's contact. It's also gonna take in the request, and then it's going to return the HTTP response, right? So a function we always returning something, right? So it's going to we're gonna replace these with let me just say contact page, right? So these are our views. So now we will have to do URLs. So we have URLs in our app, which is empty. No, this is into our project. This is the main URL, right? So we also have these URLs, which we created. This URLs.py file, which we created. So now what's gonna happen? We will have to include the URLs in our app. We'll have to include it here, and then the path. So it's just this I don't know, I'll call it this empty string, right? Blank string, and then we will have to import the include function. So with the include function, we can put it here and just say include. So the name of we put it in a string. So the name of our app is manager, right? So a manager. What do we want to include? So it's manager dot URLs, where you want to include the URLs that we are going to put in here to the main URL, right? So we'll say manager dot URLs, and then you can copy this. So now we're gonna create our URL. So here we're not gonna need this one, we're not gonna need this path, you're not gonna need include, you're only gonna need path actually, and then and our views. So let me just delete everything here. So we're gonna say from the current directory dot views import, we have two views. Let's go to manager, let's go to views. So we have home, we have contact, right? So we're gonna import both of them into our manager URLs. So we have home, we also have contact, right? So we're gonna create the URL paths for both home and contact. So for home, we're gonna create a blank one. So if we do this, it's going to replace you remember that page that showed us that we successfully installed, that page is going to be replaced by this URL, right? The page that's gonna, by this view actually, by this home view, because we did this blank thing here, right? So we're gonna say, we can say home, and then we can name it. We're gonna name it index or whatever, home. Let's name it home. We can also say that we're gonna go to path. So for this one, so our URL for this one is going to be like contact, right? And then we're gonna put backslash, so comma. So what is the view? So this is the URL. So like this thing is going to, like the path function is going to take 3 inputs. The first input is what we put here, right? So like the URL pattern that you put here, right? And then the second input is the name of the view. So this path, its view, we get it from this function, right? And then we have the name. This one is, we're gonna use it later, so don't worry about it now. And then we have like contact, that's the name of the view, and then name. So this one is gonna help us in the future to avoid hard-coded statements. So yeah, it's very useful for now, but it's not that useful. So we have our views and then we have connected our URL to the main URL, right? So let's run and see what happens. So I'm gonna say, so I'm gonna python manage.py run server. So we're gonna run the server, and then when you go to the server, you see this view. Remember the blank one. If we go to our views, this one, the blank. So this view, the request was made, right? So this thing actually goes in the reverse form. So this is what the request was made. This is the request. It's blank because we don't have anything after this, right? So also for contact, you will see, so this is the, if the user requests this URL, like contact, you see this is the contact page. We go to this view, right, this is the contact page. So this is how the URL and the view interact. So yeah, this is yes, this is very important. You need to understand this, so that in the future you will have to understand what's going on with this. Yes. Okay, thank you. This is where the lecture ends.